So we're here at Creation Fest 2016. This is the new divide, of course. And here we have Hugo. What's your last name, Hugo?
Hercod.
Hercod. I can't even say that.
Like his fish. Her, cod as in the fish.
Oh, cod.
Ah.
I got you.
Anglicised,
Nice.
Anglicised Hungarian Czech.
Cool. So yeah, we came this year, and England sometimes has good coffee, sometimes not. But we were so surprised this year. We all of a sudden we came down and there's this pop-up shop, and we had these two guys hang out here making excellent coffee. So we decided, hey, let's hang out and talk about espresso. So
something we haven't really talked about much.
yeah, it was like latte art, and we're gonna cover hopefully a little bit today about this machine in particular, espresso, and then Hugo and what he does in his shop. So yeah, if you want to quickly tell us, maybe Hugo, about who you are and your adventures.
Okay. My name's Hugo Hercod. I was a barista champion back in 2008.
Excellent.
UK champion, came 10th in the world.
You know, I graduated high school in 2008,
Oh,
so
yeah, I'm old.
There's
I
that.
get it. I'm old. But I've got a shop down the hill in Weybridge
Cool.
called Relish Food and Drink. I've had it for just coming up to 10th birthday. Really good. But it's not a cutting edge coffee shop.
Okay.
I live in Cornwall. It's rural Cornwall. We don't have the sort of coffee geeks like you guys
right.
who really care. So I very much make coffee for normal people, but I just try and do it as nicely as I can, and do the pretty patterns on top.
Which I've noticed a lot of people are really impressed with here.
Yeah.
They like get it and they go,
Oh, take a photo. The nice thing is that when you're learning it, it's when you stop taking photos of your own coffee, you realise you can do it.
Oh, wow, yeah, that's cool.
It's when you're like, oh, that's a good one, take a photo. Oh, that's a good one, take a photo. And then eventually you just go,
Like, oh, they're all good.
yeah, well, fine.
Who cares
And
now?
let other people do it.
Yeah.
But yeah. So I've been doing that for 10 years. I haven't done much competition stuff since then.
Okay.
But this is a new little venture we're doing. And this is a brand new machine
Nice.
that I'm just getting to know. So I've
Oh, yeah,
always
so
been-
the pop-up is called Rising Ground.
Yeah.
And can you tell us a little bit about that?
My shop Relish is busy, but it's not crazy busy. It's too big for what it does, so I've got a bit of space, and we're in coffee, and myself and Sean are going to start roasting,
Nice.
Cool.
and Rising Ground is part of that.
Assuming
And,
there's no roasters in Cornwall.
There's
at
a
the
there's a
moment.
bunch of them actually.
Really?
Roasting
Okay.
is starting to happen. Shop roasting, small roasters are starting
Yeah.
to happen. There's
Didn't expect that.
there's a couple of big ones, and then there's probably 4 small roasters
Okay.
about. And yeah, everyone's getting there because the barriers to entry, the kit now is more available. The internet means that
Right.
the technology, the knowledge is all
Yeah.
shared. So
Yeah.
you're not starting, you're not investing huge amounts of money,
Okay.
and it makes a lot of sense because the margins are tight in this game. So
Right.
so if I can buy greens for £4 a kilo and sell them for 10, then that's better than buying them for £11 a kilo and just making them through the coffee
Gotcha.
machine. So yeah, it's a
That's a
business
good
thing, and it's also a boredom thing because this, after a while, I've been doing this for 10 years now, and it's lovely,
Yeah.
but I need to learn more.
Gotcha.
So yeah, that's part of this machine as well. Going
Cool.
Sweet.
for a lever machine, because the best shot of coffee I've ever had was a lever machine
Okay.
in London, and it blew
So
me
you don't
away.
normally use levers?
Well, then
Levers.
if we're talking about the
Leave us.
machine real quick, why don't you go ahead and just tell us
Okay.
about the machine before we dive into actually making some.
Okay, so this is an old-fashioned style machine. It's a piston. It's a lever machine, so it's got a single boiler that runs at about 115 degrees. I don't know if that's the same in the States.
That's
So
Celsius,
it's above
right? So
boiling
that's
point.
Okay.
You got a handle that's on a very powerful steel spring.
Which is super cool looking.
As you pull the handle, it is.
He's taking the
did you notice
covers
I took
off.
the covers off. Yeah.
Yeah.
I like the mechanic. There's an engineering
looks
thing in
cool.
here that's just
Yeah.
delicious.
yeah.
Pull the lever, it pre-infuses. Do you know about pre-infusion? Puck of coffee.
Might as well tell us about it.
Okay, so in there you'd put the pile of ground coffee.
Okay.
Coffee will absorb double its own weight in water. You
Okay.
put dried coffee in there as evenly as you can, tamp it, stick it in the machine. If you were to just dump coffee, hot water straight onto it, the water wants to find the shortest route.
Okay.
The easiest route out. So it'll literally, if there's a hole down the side, it'll just disappear down the
Channeling,
side,
right.
and you'll get horrible channeling. You'll get a thin, over-extracted coffee. Pre-infusion wets the coffee really gently.
Okay.
The puck expands, seals all the gaps.
Gotcha.
Then you pull the lever
Slowly.
all the way down, load the spring, let it up, and then you get, starts off at about 10 or 12 bar pressure.
Mm-hmm.
And the joy of these machines is that the pressure drops. As the shot goes on, the pressure drops, so the more stuff comes out, the lower the pressure, you end up with a really thick, sweet shot.
Whereas like
Wow.
standard espresso machines, just the buttons, they just blast.
Press go and it just
Water.
it's 10 bar. Although people are getting excited at the moment about 6 bar for some reason.
6 bar.
But I tried 6 bar on my machine down the hill and the pressure sensor couldn't cope with it. So the motor was kicking in and out, and
Okay.
I was going to break the motor. But, so it's just the different ways of doing it. And the funny thing that's happening is that the new technology on electric machines is that you can pressure profile them. You've probably seen the Lamazocos.
Yeah, you
and
can like
stuff.
program
Yeah.
it in.
You program the profile. The default profile everyone goes for is a lever, because that produces great coffee. So
Yeah,
why
okay.
not go for
So why not get
a
a real
lever?
lever?
Save yourself
It's just like
£5,000.
what guitar companies are doing now with pedals. Like,
Yeah.
let's just fake it.
Yeah. So yeah, that's what's exciting about it. But
Oh, okay.
we've only had it 4 days,
Okay.
and we're still learning. And,
Yeah.
and I suspect in about 6 months' time, I'll say, yeah, I get it.
Yeah.
I'm happy that I understand everything about it. But in the meantime, we're going to change the handles. I think Sean wants skulls on top. I want
cool.
mahogany, lots of mahogany.
Yeah.
We're thinking leather and
Leather.
chrome. Yeah,
That'd be cool.
but yeah, we're going to play with it because it is just a box at the end of the day.
Yeah.
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 But yeah, 6 months' time, hopefully,
Shiny metal box.
I will be able to say, yeah, I can use the lever, and have a conversation with a coffee geek that
Yeah.
knows about levers, and not sound like an idiot. So
Right.
I might be sounding like an idiot right now. Because
We
this
don't
is
know.
all stuff I've read. Anyway,
Oh wow. And it's in Astoria.
it's an Astoria, CMA Astoria, biggest espresso machine manufacturer in the world.
Really?
Supply
No.
Costa. I'm trying to think. They're like the Fords of this world.
Okay.
They're reliable. They're
Everywhere
solid.
they're reliable.
Yeah, they go. And
Nice.
the one I've got down the hill's brilliant. It's their top of the range one, but it's reliable and solid and does the
Yeah.
job.
Cool.
And you don't end up calling an engineer every
Yeah.
other week for a bit of electronics that's gone.
Okay.
Yeah.
And as you can tell, there's no electronics in this. So
Yeah, right.
there's
Just
nothing,
the levers.
almost nothing
levers,
to go
sorry.
wrong. I can run this on a 3-pin plug because it's also can be
Oh,
gas,
wow.
it can be gas powered,
Wow.
Oh, okay. Cool.
which means I can go into a field with some cows
Yeah.
and just
Wow.
So now I guess we're gonna do, since this is 2-group, we can do it side by side, and you'll be
Mhm.
like teaching me as we go. So that'll be
Let's
fun.
do it. Right, flat
It's,
whites,
flat white.
flat white. That's coffee. That's coffee. Oh, I need to tell you the story before.
Yeah.
Yeah,
tell us
tell us
flat
the
white.
story.
Yeah, let's not do coffee.
I didn't know
Starbucks-
there was a story.
Starbucks decided to start flat white, but I don't think we actually know what that is.
Yeah.
Like most people.
It's
so
like-
let's
it's
hear
like-
the story.
The Starbucks caramel macchiato, whatever that is. So flat whites in Australia and New Zealand, pre-Italian immigration down there, instant coffee, pan of milk on the stove, instant coffee in there, make it nice and strong, give it a stir. And it was a flat white coffee, it was a strong milky coffee. The Italians turn up and want to do cappuccinos and espresso, and the Australians go, we'd like something a bit like our flat white. So the Italians go, right, we'll do a strong, short latte, because that's basically what they wanted. And it evolved, obviously, as things do. And the idea is it's a small coffee, but it's a strong coffee and it's milky, and not a lot of foam.
But is it similar to a cortado then?
Yes, very, very.
Is it bigger than a cortado?
A little bit. Do you know, that's a difficult one actually. Depends who you talk to. It's like pickles.
always like
It
that.
depends who you talk to.
Yeah.
It's like flat whites. Depends who you talk to. Some people, there's even in specialty coffee circles, people get really funny about what a flat white actually is.
Yeah.
And if I said this is an 8-ounce cup, if I said, oh yeah, that's a flat white, someone goes, that's way too big. It needs to be a 6-ounce cup with a double shot. But yeah, I think that's as big as a flat white should be if you're putting a double shot in it.
Gotcha.
Because it's about all of this is about just different flavour balances. So
Yeah.
Right.
the cappuccino thing is it's a single shot with
Ratios.
foamy milk,
Yeah.
espresso has to be short and strong.
Right.
Flat white is just a version of the combination of milk and espresso and foam.
Right. Yeah, I've noticed that like whereas in the States people would want a cappuccino or a latte most of the time, here it's always flat white. Everybody's
But
like,
it's the new cappuccino.
yeah.
It's very trendy. When we first opened at Relish down the hill, it's hilarious. I did flat whites, and the number of people that were just overjoyed that I did a flat white, even though it's just a combination of espresso and milk. And it's like everyone can do a flat white. They just have to make a short, strong latte. But I went into on the same front. I went into I think it was a Costa once, and said, "Can I have a flat white?" And the guy looked at me and was like, "What's that?" And I said, "Can I just have a double shot and short milk? Short milk, not a lot of foam." And it literally did not compute. He couldn't do anything that wasn't on his training list. And the manager ended up coming out, looking at me like I was an idiot, and going, "Yeah, I suppose so." And maybe the worst flat white I've ever had. But it was just this case of just a double shot, stop it there, because they were trying to just fill the cup with, as they do, and trying to get him to not boil the milk, all that sort of stuff. But yeah, he and now of course they've got the photo on the front, and I know the guy that poured the art on the photo. And they have these photos outside Costa's of a beautifully poured flat white.
Nice.
I challenge anyone to get one like that from a Costa.
That's awesome.
They just don't do it.
All right, well, show
They
us
can't
how
do
to
it.
do it
Right.
like a pro.
All right, here we go.
I'm going to go on this side. Should always have a puck in it. It's about heat transmission. This thing has to stay hot.
Gotcha.
If you ever go into a coffee shop and see that sat on the side,
Wrong.
walk away.
Walk away. Okay.
You put
Let's get out of
this is going to be full of dissolved sugars and stuff like that. If you pour anything with a dissolved sugar onto a cold surface, all the stuff comes out of the solution, and you end up with thin stuff running underneath. So the main thing is that has to have a puck in it, and it has to be hot. Noise again. So I've got about 22 grams of coffee.
And real quick, the coffee that you have here.
San Esteban. It's I think it's Nicaraguan.
Okay.
And it's a washed coffee. So this is pre-infusion. You probably can't hear that, but there's a little hiss. I'm loading the spring. So this is at the moment the water's soaking into the coffee, and all it's doing is filling the gaps. And then I'll let the handle out gently. And now the spring is doing all the work. You see the coffee comes out. Now the thing we're learning is how hard you can do that. How hard you can actually take the pressure down a bit by resisting on the spring. So if you think it's running a bit fast and you don't want to waste the shot, you can slow it down.
Okay.
Whereas like a button machine, you could not do that.
Button machine, you can't do anything. I used to down the hill. I used to fire up the other bits to get the pressure off the. I used to fire up the pump and turn the water on and stuff to try and reduce, try and slow down. Because that obviously, that's a double shot. That's 25p's worth of coffee.
Right.
And it's
You don't want to ruin it.
You don't want to waste it. So these things, the lovely thing that we learnt about these, when you get a choker when you've gone too fine on the coffee and press go and the pump can't get the pressure, you can't do anything about it with this. You have to let the machine do it because there's no way of getting this out when it's under pressure.
Right.
And if you did, it would explode and the handle would fly up.
You'd be dead.
This is quite interesting. It's got a caution on here, like don't put your chin over the lever.
Yeah, I think it says 30 centimeters minimum.
Yeah, because I did this one caught a bit and it just gave me a little punch under the chin. So,
You totally ignored that caution.
yeah. Okay, so double shot, and that's 35 ml, and I can't do anything about that, even though one of the fashions now is to vary the size of your shots according to the coffee. But what we do is we vary the dose of the ground coffee to fit the 35 ml. So I'm on 22 grams, 23 grams of coffee, 35 ml of liquid.
Okay.
Full fat milk has to be full fat.
Full fat.
This is full of water because it's pure steam comes out of there. You've got to get rid of that water. Always point it at the tray. The reason I wear the apron, you burn yourself when you get it wrong. And this is the knack that most people struggle with. So there's not a lot of air gone in, and then I'm just texturing. I'm spinning that milk. Can you see it spin?
Yeah.
Takes a good couple of hours to teach someone how to do that. Feel the temperature, because it shouldn't be hot. You
No, it shouldn't be hot.
It shouldn't be hot. You should be
I've
able
heard
to,
people say like wait till you can't bear it anymore and then take it off.
There's a physical thing about the way your tongue works with the sweetness in milk. That when it's cold, it's not sweet.
Okay.
As it warms up, it gets sweeter and sweeter. When it hits
Okay.
body temperature, it's pretty much really sweet.
Yeah.
Go much further than that, and the taste buds on your tongue stop working with sweetness. So
Okay.
all the sweetness disappears. So if you put hot milk on it, you don't
Does
get the
that only
sweetness.
apply to milk, or does that apply to other?
It's lactose, so
Okay.
milk sugar. But if you go into a shop and they overheat the milk,
Yeah.
you end up with a bitter taste in coffee, and it's
Gotcha,
not
yeah.
bitter taste. You know, it's actually just the way your taste buds are working.
Gotcha.
So it's all about balancing bitter and sweet. And then this bit, which you'll do perfectly. High up, and then low down, and stick a little pattern on it.
Nice.
And you
go,
should be
folks.
able to pick that up,
And
drink it straight away.
well, I'm gonna give it a shot.
What do you think?
First, let's show that beautiful thing off. That's in a paper cup too, which is awesome. I love it.
Nice.
Although,
Jonathan, are you gonna do that?
the real shame is that
Oh yeah, I can do that one. Yeah, totally.
it's a paper cup,
Right.
Yeah.
where ceramic tastes so much nicer.
It does. We noticed that with
Like-
black
Oh,
coffee. It
filtered
really
coffee
affects
and-
it.
Yeah, I mean, it's frustrating, but
Yeah.
I once went to a show where they had plastic cups,
Hmm.
and they were trying to do the ceramic thing, and it just smelled of plastic. You just smell it, and you're like, it's not plastic. Yeah, ruined. Right,
Cool.
go for
All
it.
right, here we
So-
go.
Knock that out.
The
Yep.
puck
The puck,
in there.
nice puck.
Nice puck. Okay.
Give it a good wipe.
Wipe it out.
Get all the old coffee out. 'Cause it's already extracted. You don't want the bitterness to come out of that bit.
No, you don't.
No more
So what?
bitterness.
Mm-hmm.
Cool.
It's great.
Into the grinder.
And the double shot or single?
Yep, double shot. Coming in. And try and get it evenly scratched. Beautiful.
Do you smooth it around with your
I
finger?
just give it a little tap. You'll see there's quite a lot of air in there. You should be able to now just tamp that,
Ah, all
and
right.
it will. Elbow up. That's it.
Good technique.
And then give it a little twist. But I'm not going to be pedantic about this, but that's not level. Yeah, you can see that. But,
I can see
But
that.
that's one of the things. Yeah, we
Yeah.
spent a lot of time. I was
Yeah.
I wasn't
grilling
expecting
Sean when
you to get
Sean
it
was
great,
doing
but-
stuff. I was just like, don't do that. Trying to talk to customers. No.
Nope.
Yeah, give it a clean.
But this is just an example,
This is-
so it's
yeah,
okay.
yeah. It'll be amazing.
Aaron's just going to judge the taste of this.
Okay, lock it in that way and then back. That's plenty. And then right, lean back on the handle gently, and you'll hear a little hiss.
It's kind of scary. And
That's a
then
little hiss.
keep it there for a second.
There for a sec, and then gently all the way to the bottom.
Is that at the bottom or keep going?
Keep going, keep going.
Yeah,
keep
there
going.
it is.
It's quite, yeah, it's quite.
Oh yeah, it's all the way down. I was
You will
like,
get guns. And then cup under. And then ease the handle back up. And you'll feel it start to
And
pull
don't put your chin over it.
yeah, keep my chin away from it.
a little bit quicker. That's it. While it's down, you're pre-infusing. And
Right.
eventually there'll be too much water
Gotcha.
in there. There you
And just
Beautiful.
does that, so
go. That's a good shot. I used to work a lot on how it looks. You know, people go, oh, you've got to have this, this, and this, and it's got to
Yeah.
be all about the numbers. It's about what it looks like at the end of the day. You can see when good stuff's coming out. of the
Huh.
coffee. And you can also see when bad stuff's coming out
Right.
of the coffee and when it's run out of steam. One of the joys of the pressure profile on this is that it doesn't tend to blonde. You'll get a good shot all the way through. Whereas with a push button machine, 10 bar, at some stage it'll run out and you'll see it blonde, and there's that's the bad stuff.
Blonde. Was that
Blonding.
mean? I don't know what that means.
In coffee, in the actual ground coffee, there's some stuff that dissolves really easily.
Okay.
There's some stuff that dissolves with difficulty, and caffeine's a classic. It doesn't dissolve that easily.
Okay.
It's a bitter compound. It's a big molecule. The easy stuff comes out first, and the oils
Gotcha.
and stuff. So that's the thick, beautiful, thick, syrupy stuff that you see at
Okay.
the beginning. as the water cycles through the coffee, the bigger molecules start coming out, and you've washed out all the good stuff. The slightly worse stuff starts coming out, and if you carried on going,
All the bad.
it would
stuff
taste
start
awful. I
coming
mean,
out.
I'll give you a little. I'm going to give you a little example of just how,
Oh, here it
because I think
comes.
everyone should try this. Who hasn't? This is what I was doing on my talk the other day.
Yeah.
So imagine you were in a coffee shop
Okay.
and they pulled an
Not hard to
enormous
imagine
shot on
right
you.
now.
And if you be careful, it'll be very hot. But smell it, and then taste it.
I don't know if I want to.
Just a little sip. Just a little sip. You should be smelling burnt rubber.
I literally was gonna say,
Yeah.
this is like I'm in a tire shop.
Burnt rubbers, ashtray,
Yeah.
really ashy, quite nasty, bitter. That's the stuff that if you go into a bad coffee shop, they put that in your espresso because they're not paying attention. Because they don't know what they're doing with it and they're not paying attention.
Gotcha.
So, yeah, that's the classic. Is you'll get that in a lot
I
of
have
coffee
had that
shops.
before, yes.
Yeah. All right, milk.
We'll go back to that good one.
I'm gonna make your life a little bit easier and put it in a bigger jug. Just because the small jug is mean. That's how I test my when people come to me and say, I want to work as a barista. I am a barista.
All right, use
I
the
give them the
small
little jug and go, try that, and they just spray milk everywhere. I've been doing that to Sean all day. Okay,
Yeah.
through there, turn it on,
How much? Like all the way?
full blast from the off, drop it down to get some air in. That's it, a bit more. That's it, and now just spin it. And when that gets to a really decent temperature, there you go, turn it off
Oh boy.
and drop it out. That's pretty good.
Nice.
That's pretty good.
Nice.
Give that a wipe. You've got to vent it as well. Get the any milk out there. Right, tap it on the side, and then fill that to just above the bump.
Okay.
Because that's what you're going to use to pour. And I love what pressure does to people when they're doing this.
Yeah.
It's awful.
That's beautiful
And
milk.
it's like a weird weight, so it's.
Yeah, that's good milk.
unbeatable.
That's very good milk. Cool.
Yeah, I totally did that by myself. Yeah.
Park that anywhere and we'll do some. Okay, so one of the things is that's now full of fine foam that's settling to the top. You
Microfoam.
don't want it to settle to the top. You want it to be in the drink. So one of the things you'll see baristas doing, they'll stand there
Always
chatting and they're just swirling their milk.
Swirling.
Yeah, because if you let it stop, it'll all settle out and you won't be able to pour. So I'm going to hand that over. Just keep gently swirling it. Are you left-handed?
Yep.
Cool. Got to swirl that as well. The espresso will quite often form a lump on top. I call it rafting, but does that mean something different?
Nope.
No.
Not that I know of.
Keep
I don't
swirling,
know.
keep swirling,
but-
keep
Yeah.
swirling. Keep moving, keep moving.
Okay. I seen that you hold it
Yeah,
like
can you
this.
see it settling
You
out?
gotta
Yeah, yeah. I see
swirl,
it.
talk,
Keep
and
moving.
pour.
So you're gonna, and now you're going to pour high
Start
up.
high.
Yeah.
This is my hands.
Keep swirling, keep swirling, keep swirling.
Okay.
Go, go, go. And it's almost like a race. And then down. Oh, I saw something.
There's a shape.
Come on. Yeah.
I
Look
see
at
it.
that.
I see it.
It's a face.
It is a face. Look,
It's a
here's
face.
the hair.
Yeah. Hair going back.
You're a pro.
I always do these
Let's-
things in like high pressure, and it's like,
Let's show everyone the face.
yeah, look
Yeah.
at that.
That was intentional, right?
Oh yeah, yeah. That's
That was
Picasso.
excellent.
That is the
Now we're
fashion
gonna
now. Have you
see-
seen the Red Indian, the pool?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
That's like
How
a
guys
good
how
version
it
of that.
tastes though? Since you did it, you're first. So, Jonathan, was this your first ever all the way through flat white?
Flat white, yeah.
Look at that,
That was about
ladies
my
and gentlemen.
third time pouring latte art.
First time flat white right there. It's amazing. So,
At Rising Ground Coffee.
yeah, going through all
In
that,
Cornwall.
where can everyone find you? Your, social media, all that kind of stuff. If you have any people that are come visit England and visit
Yep.
Cornwall, tell us everything.
I'm in Wadebridge, which is the main market town on the north coast. We're just down the river from Padstow. Everyone, have you been to Padstow yet? Everyone's been to Padstow.
I don't think
It's
we have.
It's on the mouth of the River Camel.
Mm-hmm.
It's home to a very famous chef called Rick Stein, who's known
I
mostly
feel
around
like
the
I know
world.
that name.
Yeah. Retired ladies love him. He's very good with fish, and he basically put Padstow on the map, which is lovely.
Okay.
But we're the main market town. I'm in the centre of town, but just far enough away from the high street that you have to find me, which is
Gotcha.
cool. And yeah, social media wise, I'm Hugo Hercod. Just
Yeah.
Google it, and I'm all over it. It's quite scary.
That's awesome.
Do you ever Google yourself? It's just
Yeah, nothing
it's
comes up.
disturbing. So yeah, I'm there, and then we're Rising Ground,
Cool.
which is
And will that
The
be the
coffee
name of your
side.
roaster?
yes. So Rising Ground is the roast, and Relish Food and Drink is the cafe,
Cool.
and then that's all that's on
Cool.
on the media as well. But
Cool.
I'm not the media expert. Sean's the media expert.
Sean
Cool.
He's the cool.
Mm.
I just
He looks like Orlando Bloom.
Do you know, I'm getting a bit bored of people coming in here and tell me how good looking he is.
But you know what?
Instead
You're
of
really
making the coffee and
photogenic.
going, Nice.
Like
This is, your coffee's nice
You're
and he's
super-
really good looking. Wow,
At least you got the nice coffee.
every
though.
picture
Yeah.
I've seen of you, though, your like hair is flowing in the wind and stuff, and it looks pretty good. So,
yeah, there's some Mickey taking going on about that.
Great. Well, thank you so much for spending the time with us.
That's
teaching
cool.
us about this machine specifically, more about like espresso, and
yeah, we've loved being able to come down
Yeah.
here instead of
it's just
having
so cool.
other coffee here.
Oh, the other
Yeah.
coffee.
I mean, we love instant coffee and all, but we don't. So
As much
Other
as I love
places,
it.
okay. Another, if you're in Cornwall, other places to go. 108 Coffee in
Okay.
Truro.
want to wait.
The Brew House in Porthleven
Okay.
is very cool. And there's a little place called Espressini in Falmouth. Espressini, and they're really good as well.
Cool.
All right.
So look out for them.
Cool. You guys heard
Thanks,
it.
Hugo.
Go check them out, and check them out on Instagram.
Thanks for having coffee with the new divine.
Keep drinking it.